I lost 40 pounds in 3 months and thought I had finally mastered weight loss. I had the abs I always wanted. People were asking me for advice, and I was finally confident in my own skin. But instead, it nearly destroyed my relationship with food forever. Tanked my energy and hormones, and worst of all, led me to gain back 40 pounds all in 1 month. So if you've ever been tempted to do an extreme diet for fast results, or if you think starving yourself is the only way to get the body you want, or maybe you're just tired of losing the same 10 to 20 pounds over and over and over again, then you need to hear my story because what happened to me could help you. I'm Obi Health, a fitness coach who's helped thousands of clients transform their bodies in sustainable ways. But before I could help anyone else, I had to learn the hard way. Chasing quick weight loss almost destroyed my health and my life. Most fitness influencers won't tell you the dark side of rapid fat loss, but I'm going to share the brutal truth about what this cycle actually does to your body, your hormones, and your mind. I'm going to share what I should have done, what I'm doing, and what I'm teaching hundreds if not thousands of clients to avoid this mistake. When I first got into fitness, I was insecure and overweight. I didn't like the way I looked, and it affected my day-to-day life and my confidence. It ruined relationships. It made me not express myself in other ways. And I thought getting abs would give me everything. It would fix my whole life. And like most people, I thought faster equals better, because I just wanted the result. I mean, have you ever looked up the 5-minute ab workout to give you that 6-pack this summer? I was that guy, just doing his crunches in his room. And then I consumed a bunch of YouTube videos and I was like, you know what? All the bodybuilders eat chicken and rice. That's all they eat. That's all they preach about. All these extreme diets. All these guys are saying, oh, just chicken and rice. You just gotta get your protein in. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And it was amazing. I was dropping so much fat. Holy cow. I was dropping like one of these a week. Did I hate my diet? Yeah, but I was addicted to the results. And my motivation as an all-time high. I was so ready for this. And then after a little bit of time, around 30, 60 days in, I started to realize how much I started thinking of food, how much I hated my diet. And I didn't understand why this was working. I was just eating chicken rice because I knew chicken rice, that's safe. I could eat this. And this is the same philosophy all the fad diets have. Think of keto. You can only eat fats. You avoid all those other foods. You think, oh, these foods are bad, but the fats are good. Oh, if you do carnivore, meat is safe. I can eat the meat. I can't eat any of those other foods, or else I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna be so obsessed that I ate one carb. Or if you do low carb or intermittent fasting, oh, I can't eat any of these foods. It spikes my blood sugar. And then you think, whoa, I have to go to a dinner party. They don't have my foods. Oh, I have to go to this wedding. I have to go to this work event. Oh, I'm a sales rep. I have to take my client out to dinner. Does that sound familiar? It should, because I hear these stories all the time. These are the things that happen with my clients when they work with other coaches or they try these fad diets. And when they come to me, they have so much anxiety and they have so much fear, because fear sells on social media. And I was in the same situation when I first got in the fitness space 10 plus years ago. I was in your shoes and it got to me. I realized my hormonal profile was out of whack. I was lethargic. I couldn't focus on anything. I had so much brain fog. My life revolved around my chicken and rice. I couldn't eat anything else. And it was becoming a personality trait. I mean, hell, any special event, I brought my chicken and rice. And it became selfish because it was hindering my experience of life, and I let fitness take over my life when fitness was supposed to be a tool to live a better life. But now fitness is my life. Couldn't go on vacation. Couldn't enjoy times with my loved ones. I traded one addiction for another. And the sad thing is, I got my abs. And that's why it took so long to get out of this. People were asking me for advice. I was happy in my own skin. And I thought I solved weight loss. I thought these side effects were a necessity to keep my results. And I was giving people this horrific advice before I got any certifications or became any knowledgeable figure in the space. I was just regurgitating what my favorite influencer did and never telling people the side effects I was dealing with. I had the 6-pack. I had the dream. And even worse than the side effects of fitness taking over my life, if I ate anything that was not my chicken and rice, I thought it was 3 hours of cardio. I thought I had to suffer the next day. I had to starve myself the next day. I had to earn my food. And this is genuinely an eating disorder. I assigned emotions to food. This is just like any fad diet. This is just like the carnivore, just like keto, just like the Atkins, just like the intermittent fasting, the low carb, all of those things. When you eliminate any food item, any food group, it is an eating disorder because you're assigning emotions to food. And if you don't follow your exact plan, you go off the walls and you think, screw it, I'm just gonna go off diet. And then you regain all the weight back. You gain right back where you started, but now you have no motivation. You think the fitness space is a scam, and you think anyone that looks good is suffering. I had zero flexibility. Same with these fad diets. There's zero flexibility. You have to eat those foods. You can't eat pizza. You can't eat ice cream. You can't eat the foods you enjoy. You can't spend time with your loved ones. You can't do an event. You can't be spontaneous. My whole self-worth was assigned to that damn scale. I thought that scale controlled everything. If I saw that pound go up, boy, oh boy, I felt sorry for the treadmill. I really did, because that thing was going to get burnt out before I did. We're talking 6+ hours on the Stairmaster. We're talking 4+ hours on the treadmill after. We're talking the whole day I'm doing cardio. I'm talking 50,000 steps in a day. And the inevitable crash happened. It got to me. Everyone in my life was so tired of hearing about my damn diet. They were so damn tired of me not living my life. They were seeing the effects of my diet, even though I was trying to hide it so well. And I gained it all back in a month. I gained all 40 pounds. What I thought I accomplished, it was nothing. I did a little research. There's a psychology thing on this. The more you fear something, the more likely you're going to binge on it or want to eat it. So when you're afraid of those seed oils, when you're afraid of these food dyes, when you're afraid of carbs, when you're afraid to eat out of your eating window, the second you do it, the restriction is so heavy that you binge out. And you think, screw it, I got nothing to lose. It's the whole analogy of you stubbed your toe in the wall. Now you're just ramming your foot in the wall nonstop because you just stubbed it. It's like you're pouring some milk out on your table and you spilled some. Might as well pull the whole cart out on the whole table. And I said, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what worked. I lost 20 pounds, and then what do you know? I gained 25 pounds back. Then I lost 15 pounds. And then what? I gained 20 pounds back. And I kept getting back to square one, but with more issues every single time. And I tried all the diets. I tried keto. I tried carnivore. Carnivore wasn't really popular at the time. So 10+ years ago, I'll be very true with you guys. I tried the keto. I tried the intermittent fasting. I did the low carb. I did all these things. They weren't working. I went through so much effort just for the cycle to keep repeating over and over and over again. And it's the number one thing I hear from all my clients. They tried this diet. They tried this fad diet. They tried this thing, and they have the worst relationship with food. Genuinely, I have a female client. She was so afraid of calcium dense there. She was so afraid of cottage cheese. She was so afraid of carbs because her last coach put her on 700 calories a day and said if you eat vegetables, because they have carbs, they were going to make her fat. And her whole life was revolving around cottage cheese. She couldn't stop eating it. And she was bamboozled when we more than doubled her caloric intake. More than doubled. We added more than 1,000 calories. And she still wasn't gaining weight. And she was blown away. And she was still fearful because she was eating so much, yet the scale wasn't moving yet. She was just getting PRs in the gym, building a healthy relationship with food, and she wasn't obsessed with cottage cheese anymore. We found the deficiencies in her diet. We're teaching her why foods are so nutritious and so beneficial, why you need certain micronutrients because they pair with each other, and how our body is smart. If we crave these certain things, our body wants these foods. And she was deficient in calcium. So we started supplementing calcium, adding the proper foods in, and having those other micronutrients to build a perfect diet that is sustainable. And she was fearful to eat her favorite influencer's food. Her favorite influencer, her dream body. She was afraid to eat those recipes. Isn't that ironic? The person you want to look like, you can't eat their recipes because you'll get fat. The irony is right there, but the relationship with food and the emotions attached to the food were so heavy, she couldn't think logically. And it's not just my female clients. I had another male client that had the exact same thing, but he was deficient in so much vitamin A and B12. And I have hundreds of other cases just like those because they have a fear, and it doesn't matter what it is. They either fear sugar, they fear carbs, they fear eating after 6 p.m. They think it's processed sugar, they think it's processed food, they think it's supplements. I've heard it all throughout the years of coaching. And I used to get shocked when I would hear the food item they were fearful of. And then they were bamboozled by the things I ate in my day-to-day life. And what I learned is every single time these people do these cycles, or if I did this cycle, it is harder to adhere the results and it's easier to relapse. Your body just fights back harder each time. Here's what I wish someone had told me back then, and what I'm going to tell you now. Because if I had done this, I would have protected my health, broken the yo-yo diet cycle forever, and finally learned how to lose fat and keep it off forever. I've helped clients 5+ years of yo-yo dieting constantly using these exact principles. Like my client Daniel, he lost 20+ pounds working with me, and I'm so glad to say months after us working together, he still texts me and he's still making progress in the gym. Not only that, he's helping his loved ones because he became his own coach. My clients maintain these results for years, not months. Like my client Connor, he was an ex-athlete. After sports, he was doing sports his whole life. He graduated college and he gained a bunch of weight because he wasn't doing all that physical activity he was doing when he was younger or while he was playing his sports. And a couple years later, he realized he needed to make a change that he can adhere to and sustain, and it didn't affect his work life because he does sales. He has to take clients to dinner. And I'm so glad to say years later, he still looks incredible. Ask yourself this: if I gave you your dream body of the actors, the Chris Hemsworths, if you're a woman, look like Alex Earl, Margot Robbie, hell, even Kylie Jenner before the plastic, how long would you keep your body with your current habits? Nothing changed. What you're doing right now. Do you think you'd sustain it? Hell, what if we got plastic surgery and got hell, what if we got liposuction How long do you keep that off? Seriously, because if you don't learn the principles, how the hell you got your body? It's like the theory with the lottery. 90% of people that win the lottery go broke within the first 5 years because they don't learn the principles behind the money and how to have the habits to keep the money. It's the same thing with your body. The person who eats well 80% of the time for a year will always beat the person that eats perfect for 3 months. People overestimate what they can do in 1 week and underestimate what they can do in 6 months. Start with daily activity tracking. Get a watch. Use your phone. If you have Apple Watch or Apple phone of any kind, that health app is around 70-80% accurate on your step count that you could be using on a daily basis. Just carry your phone. Just build an awareness of what you're doing. You don't even have to make a change yet. Then start adding caloric awareness. Not restricting, just understanding how many calories certain foods have and what your caloric intake pattern is. Build systems that work when motivation is an all-time low. And most importantly, don't be too hard on yourself. If you actually want to lose the weight and keep it off, it needs to be from habits and not lose fat quick schemes. You need to learn the principles behind fat loss. Don't just follow a meal plan blindly. Understand why certain foods work for your exact goals. Your goals. It enrages me so much when people hand out these ChatGPT, these PDF meal plans that makes the client rely on them forever because they don't understand the why. They know that meal plan works, but the second I don't follow that, all hell breaks loose. Know how calories, macros, and micronutrients actually affect your body. Understand your maintenance calories and how it changes when you lose weight. Your body is not a calculator. It's more like a leaky bucket. Bigger people naturally burn more calories. And when you lose the weight, you burn fewer calories because there's quite literally less of you to maintain, not because your metabolism is broken. Learn how to make smart choices when life happens. When you go to restaurants, when you go to holidays, when you have a work event, when you want to travel, when you go on vacation. If you know you're going to have a big dinner this evening, you can plan during the day or earlier in the day to accommodate all the calories you're going to have later in the day. Most people focus on calories and protein. I hear this all the time when I'm onboarding clients. When I ask them, hey, are you tracking your food? Yeah, I track my protein and calories. And then they wonder why they're exhausted constantly and miserable after 2 weeks. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to shame people that only do that. That's amazing, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. For example, you could be losing your omega fats, specifically your omega-3 fats. The average American has a 1:15 to 1:20 ratio on their omega-3 to omega-6 fat profile, when it should be a 1:1 to a 1:4 ratio for your omega-3 to omega-6 fats. This creates chronic inflammation that makes fat loss so much harder. Are you tracking your fiber? Because if you're a woman, you should be having 40 grams of fiber a day, and if you're a male, you should be having 50 grams of fiber a day. But if you're hearing this right now, I'm actually being nuanced, unlike other fitness coaches. Don't start on 40 to 50 grams of fiber. Please, for the love of God. There would be too many people going to the hospital. I think it's hilarious right now. Specifically on girl TikTok, there's a lot of female influencers that are saying, hey, if you're not going to the bathroom, eat a dragon fruit. The funny thing is, this laxative that they're eating is only 5 grams of fiber. 5 grams. And what that is telling me is that no one eats fiber. No one does. Fiber makes you feel more full. It keeps you regular, gets toxins out of the body, improves your insulin sensitivity. It stabilizes your blood sugar, prevents energy crashes. It can prevent colon cancer. The number one thing that is taking men out under the age of 50, and the number 2 thing for women. And that's a preventable cancer. And what that's telling me, as a fitness coach, no one is getting their fiber intake. No one, because that is the number one thing taking people out right now. Your gut bacteria directly influences hormones that affect your appetite. Fix your fiber, fix your cravings. More like fix your gut health, fix your cravings. But like I was saying earlier, don't start with such a big number. Drink plenty of water because you're gonna feel extreme bloat if you eat too much fiber at once. Your body's not used to it. It was deficient in so long. Don't overwhelm it because that can cause the opposite problem. You become constipated. You can't go to the bathroom. And there's different types of fiber. There's insoluble, soluble, fermented, and another one. Some fiber makes your stool harder, some fiber makes your stool looser, but you have to hydrate it with water or you should get too backed up. So what I suggest is start with 5 grams of fiber and slowly increase whenever you feel comfortable and the bloating goes away and you think, hey, I can start improving this and adding more. Don't go from 0 to 100. Like we're saying, don't chase the quick thing, build sustainability. Here's some eating strategies that actually work. Protein requires significantly more energy than other macronutrients to digest. It literally increases your daily expenditure just eating protein. You need to have 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound you weigh, but not just per pound. Lean tissue or your goal weight. I have some clients over 300 pounds. Think I'm giving those guys 300 plus grams of protein? No, it's not all muscle. The muscle needs the protein. So in that case, if his goal weight is 200 pounds, we'll give him around 180 grams of protein. Start eating a lot of volume or volume eating. High water content, high fiber content, high protein content equals maximum fullness. Boiled potatoes are amongst the most filling foods you can eat per calorie. I'm not kidding. There's a whole study about this on satiety, how full of food makes you. Potatoes are number one. Then next up, start making good swaps. Rather than having rice, have some cauliflower rice. Saves you 180 calories per cup instead of spaghetti. Zucchini noodles save you 200 calories per cup. Fill your plate up with high volume vegetables. This could be doing so many things, giving you so many antioxidants, so many minerals and vitamins, and makes you feel so full and improves that gut health that we were talking about earlier. Quarter of your plate with lean protein and the last quarter with some complex carbs. Movement that actually matters. Your body compensates for intense cardio by reducing daily movement to conserve energy. But if you enjoy an intense cardio, running, HIIT workouts, things like that, and you can do this consistently, that's genuinely all that matters. Like we were saying earlier, you don't have to be perfect. The best workout is the one you can adhere to and you can do, and the one that you like. Same with your diet. It's not about the most optimal, most science-based, perfect thing. It's what you can adhere to and what you can do. Walking 10,000 steps a day is easier to stick with and doesn't make your body fight by restricting or limiting other daily activity. The key is finding movement that you can sustain, whether that's high intensity training, jogging, walking, sprints, or anything in between. Resistance train at least 3 to 4 times a week. This is going to be preserving muscle mass and maintain your metabolic rate. In a caloric deficit, your body wants to shred muscle. Lifting signals your body to keep that muscle and lose pure fat to lose that skinny fat look. And if you do resistance training plus cardio, specifically cardio you enjoy, and have proper recovery, that equals sustainable fat loss. The best diet is the one you can adhere to the longest, or just long term, not the one that gives you the fastest results. This will allow you to plan for real world events, social events, dinner events, work events, weddings, and anything in between. And having backup plans whenever your normal routine gets disrupted. And one of the most important things, allow yourself to enjoy your diet. Allow foods and space for things you enjoy. Restriction always leads to rebellion, and in extreme cases, binge eating. The all or nothing trap. Missing just one workout doesn't mean restart Monday. It means get on track the next session. And you need to stop labeling foods as bad or as good. This creates fear and guilt, just like I experienced. Learn the difference between physical hunger and emotional eating. And you need to understand one meal, one mistake, one bad day will not make you lose all your progress. I teach all the principles I use on the clients so they can become their own coaches. That's why my goal is to be your last coach you ever work with. Now, years later, here's the ironic truth. This is how me sustain my results. On a regular basis, a weekly basis, a daily basis, I can enjoy ice cream. I can enjoy pizza. I go out to restaurants with my girlfriend, my family, my friends, whenever I like. And I maintain my 205-pound figure lean year-round without any restriction. I don't fear food. I don't assign emotion to food. I don't have any anxiety about food. Consistency beats perfection every time. Now here's the thing. I shared my story because I don't want you to go through what I had to. Losing the weight and gaining it all back. The food anxiety and everything else. None of it was worth those temporary results. What I'm doing now is completely different. Instead of extreme restriction, I'm teaching sustainable habits. Instead of meal plans, I'm teaching principles. And instead of quick fixes, I'm building systems that last. If you want to transform your body without sacrificing your health or your relationship with food, and you're ready to learn the right way to lose weight and keep it off for good, click the first link in the description where you can learn about how to work with me one-on-one. Until next time.